welcome to our new lesson, the lesson about angles. So first let's discuss about the definition of the angle. So it says that in geometry, angle is a figure formed by two rays. So the important thing is angle is formed by two rays. So those two rays, here I have an example. I have AC is a one ray and AB is another ray. They come together at a single point A. So the common point, the common end point is known as the vertex of the angle. So angles are formed by two rays, and the two rays come together at a single point or a common point. That common point is known as the vertex. So in this in this angle, it have two sides. So those are the two rays. So two rays are the sides, and the common point of the both rays are the vertex. So here the vertex is A. Vertex is the point A, and the sides are, there are two sides. It have two sides. The sides are AC, the ray AC, so starting from A to C, and the second side is ray AB. So we start from A, goes through B. So this angle has two sides. The one side is AC, and the second side is AB, and the common end point is known as the vertex. So next thing, let me discuss how to name an angle. So to name an angle, we can name three different ways. The one way is, when you look at this angle have two sides, so I can say angle CAB. So the one way is an angle. Make sure that you put an angle sign, angle CAB. Now you may think about, why can't I use BAC? So that is also correct. I can say angle BAC. That's the second method. You can say angle BAC. So always make sure that the vertex A at the middle, and we can use any two other points on the side on the both end. And the third one is, so you can just use angle A. So we can use the vertex, the letter for the vertex to represent the angle. So we can say angle A. Another way, you can do one more way. Here, if you have a number, suppose I put a number 1 here. So any number here. So I can use angle 1 to name that angle. So basically there are 4 different ways you can name it. So one way is angle CAB and BAC. And angle A, use only the vertex. If there is a number, I can use that number to represent the angle. So there are 4 different ways you can use it. So make sure that you use the symbol angle sign in front of that one to represent you're talking about the angle. So I have a couple of questions here. Name the vertex and the side of the angle. So just pause the video and write the answers for that one. Welcome back. I hope you have done this one. So vertex of this angle is, the vertex of this angle is point M, and you have two sides. Sides of this angle, the first side is the ray MN. So start from N, goes through N, and the second side start from M, go through L. So it have two sides and the one vertex. So here is the vertex. The vertex of this one is point D, and the sides are ray DE that goes through, and second one is start from D, go through C, ray DC. So I have a couple of questions. So name the angle 4 different ways. So I have, we have done the discuss way, how can we name it. So take a moment. I have done this problem, so let me cover that one. Okay, so please do those 2 questions, and once you have done, so welcome, come back. I hope you have done those questions. So this is the answer for that one. So we can name it at 4 different ways. So I can say CDE or EDC, or I can just use the vertex angle D, or I can use the letter number 3, angle 3. So here I have again 4 different way. So one way is angle 1. So angle next one is for angle, just use the vertex angle F, or I can use all 3 letters, so GFE, angle GFE, or angle EFG, angle EFG. So here is the next 2 questions, so please pause the video and do it and come back. Okay, here are the answers. I hope you have done it. So just check your answer with yours. So let us move on to the next part of this lesson. Here I have another question. So question is telling you that name all angles that have V as a vertex. You may think there are 2 angles. No, there are 3 angles are there. There are 2 small angles, and those 2 small angles forming a big angle. The first small angle is, I can say one angle is angle JVI. So this is a one angle, angle JVI, or I can say angle 5, or I can say angle IVJ. So that's the first angle. So okay, the second angle is this one. So that angle is angle IVH, angle IVH, or I could say that angle HVI, or I could say angle 6. So that's the second angle. So third angle is formed by the big angle formed by combining both of them like this. So angle HVJ, or I can say angle JVH. So you may think, why can't we use just V? So since there is more than one angle, we cannot use only one letter. Okay, so it is, if you say just angle V, we don't know which angle you are talking about. So it is always better to use a 3-letter angle representation. I'm making more mistake here, so I am missing an angle sign here. That's right. So those are the 3 different angles. So here is a next, there are 2 more questions, 3 more questions are here. So I hope you can do those 3 angles. Let us do this one by our together. So there are 3 angles. One is this small angle. So that angle we can say angle 3, or I could say angle EVF or FVE. Let me say EVF. Okay. The second angle is this angle 2. So I can say angle 2, or I can say angle DVE. Angle DEV. So the third angle is the angle combining both angles. So a big angle DVF. So angle DVF, or we can say FVD. So I'm writing only one of them. So that is the 3 different angles. Here is the next problem number 15. So please try to do that one. And pause the video, and once you have done, so please come back. I hope you have done that question. So these are the 3 different ways you can represent that angle. So angle 1 or angle 2, or I can say angle TVS or TVS, this angle, or I could say angle RVS, so this angle, or I could say angle RVT, so and angle RVT. So there are 3 different angles. So since it is easy one, so we can move on to the next question. Next part of this lesson is about the type of angles. In elementary class, or you might have, or middle school, you might have learned that we can classify angle based on their measure. So the measure of the angle is less than 90 degree, then acute angle. If the angle is 90, it's a right angle. So to represent the right angle, so we use a box, box sign there. The next one is obtuse. The angle is more than 90 and less than 180 degree. That is known as obtuse angle. And there's another reflex angle. So I mean this angle is obtuse. The other angle is known as the reflex angle. So mainly we should know acute angle, that is less than 90. Right angle means that is 90, and obtuse angle is angle that is more than 90 and less than 180 degree. Just we are talking about when you have a previous question here, you can see that three different angles. So there are two small angles, 5 and 6. Here is 1 and 2, and they are together. This side VI is common for both angles, so the angle together is a big angle here. So this type of angle, they are together, they are side by side, they are neighbors, so they are known as adjacent angles. So adjacent means something is next to each other. When angles are adjacent angles, so one of the side is common for both. So this side is common and this vertex is common for all those three angles. So there are three angles, one small two angles and one big angle. So these small two angles are adjacent. Those two adjacent angles together make a big angle. So adjacent angles are angles shared with a common vertex. So they should have a common vertex here. Okay, and they should have a common side. So here is the common side. So that type of nearby angles are known as adjacent angles. So here I have a few things. So the first one is these two are adjacent because this side is common for both and this side is a common vertex. But this is not an adjacent angle because these two angles don't have a common side even though they have common vertex. So they are not adjacent angle. So the next one is also not adjacent. So this side is common for both, but this vertex is not common. So in order to be adjacent, two conditions. One, they should have a common vertex, and the second is they should have common side. So those type of angles are known as adjacent angles. So let us move on to the next one. So you can see that these two angles are adjacent. So for example, let me put this angle is approximately 45 degree and this angle is almost 60 degree. So I have two angles. The angle A, the small angle A is 60 degree and small angle B is 45 degree. I know that they are together make a big angle. So how much should be the measure of those two angles? So obviously we are going to say that we can add those to 60 and 45. So measure that big angle is 105. So that is our next lesson. So that is angle addition postulate. So here is the angle addition postulate. So angle addition postulate states that D is inside this, the big angle ABC. So D is an interior, that is inside that angle. So when you draw a line connecting the vertex and interior line, we have two separate angles, two small adjacent angles. So they together make a big angle. So I can say angle ABD, the first angle ABD, and second angle CBD, that is the second angle. They together make a big angle ABC. So that two adjacent angles together make a big angle. So if you add both adjacent angles, you get the bigger one. So this angle is 60 and this angle is 40. So the big measure of the big angle ABC is 100 degree. So here is, I have a question here. So find the measure of JKL. So where is the angle JKL? So I need to figure out the angle JKL. So those two are the adjacent angles. So I need to write the angle addition postulate. So there are two small angles. The first small angle is JKD. So I need to find out how much is JKL. Okay. this is JKL. So small angle is JKD, angle JKD plus the second small angle is DKL, angle DKL. If you put those two angles together, you will get a big angle, that is angle JKL. Angle JKL. So I need to figure out how much should be angle JKL. So let us plug in what we know. It said that angle DKL. So angle DKL, that means this angle is 80 degree plus angle JKD, that is 65 degree. So this is 65 degree here, this is 80 degree here. So they combining together, so the angle JKL, the whole angle is 80 plus 65 is 145 degree is the measure of angle JKL. So let us do the next problem, next question 2. So we need to find out the measure of IHG. Where is IHG? The big angle. How much is this big angle? That we need to figure it out. The question says that IHJ, that angle is 130, and JHG, this angle is 34. So I need to know how much is the big angle. So I can say that if I add the angle, the small angle IHJ, angle IHJ plus angle, the second small angle, that means JHG, gives you the big angle, angle IHG. So plug in, what do I know? I know that IHJ is 130 plus the second angle GHJ is 34. That give you the big angle. So we add up 130 plus 34 is 164 degree is the measure of the big angle IHG. So let's move on to the next question here. We have 2 more questions. Please try that question, pause the video. I write down the angle addition postulates. Just pause the video and try to solve those 2 questions. Welcome back. I hope you have done. Let's go through the answers. So we can say that there are 2 small angles, and add those 2 small angles add up to the bigger one. The first small angle is LME plus the second angle EMN. They add up to the bigger angle. That is angle addition postulate. So let us plug in, what do I know? Angle RN, where is N? Okay. NML. The big angle is 138. Okay. Then EML, that is, where is angle EML? This small angle is 88. So find the measure of angle N. Wait a minute. I think, sorry, EML is, so 88 is here. EML is 88 is here. What is the measure of the angle NME? How much is the measure here? So we are given the whole, the big angle, the whole angle is 138. That is LMN is 138 equal to, also we are given the angle LME, that is 88 degree, and figure out how much should be angle EMN. To solve for EMN, I take away 88 from both sides, so subtract 88 from both sides. So I have to subtract it, so 8 minus 8 is 0, 30 minus 8 is 5. That means the measure of angle EMN is 50 degree. Here is the another question. I have 2 angles, so I need to figure out the measure of angle TUV. So where is angle TUV? The whole angle. Oh, it kind of looks easy. And angle TUB, where is T? Okay, TUB, this small angle is TUB, that small angle is 22 degree. Angle B, angle BUV, so BUV, that angle is 156. So I will get the big angle TUV by adding those two. So 22 plus 156 is 178 degrees. So measure of the big angle TUV is 178. So here is the next question. So please pause the video and try to solve that questions. Then come back and check your answers. Welcome back. I hope you have done that question. So angle ABC, the whole angle ABC is 122. So 122 ABC. So I know that I can write the angle addition postulate. This small angle, so one angle is ABD plus second small angle DBC, add up to the whole big angle ABC. I know the angle ABC is 22 degree, no, 122. And the measure of angle ABD, so angle ABD, this small angle is the 8x plus 20 plus the measure of the second small angle DBC is equal to, maybe in the parenthesis, 22x minus 3. So I have an equation now. You can combine the like terms. So 8x and 22x are the like terms. When you add up those two, you will get 30x. Then 20 minus 3, they are the like terms. So you get a 20 minus 3 is 17. Positive 17 is equal to 122. To solve for x, I need to subtract 17 from both sides. Subtract 17 from both sides. Get 30x is come down. The 17 minus 17 is cancelled out. When you subtract it, you get a 105. So to solve for x, you divide the 30 on both sides. 30 on both sides. So 105 divided by 30 should be the answer. So the answer for the x is equal to 3.5. So x is 3.5. That should be the value of x. So x is equal to 3.5. Now I need to figure out how much should be the measure of ABD, angle ABD. So I have ABD is here. So plug in 3.5 for x. So that becomes 8 times 3.5 plus 20. So 8 times 3.5 is 28. 28 plus 20 is 48 degrees, the measure of that angle. The second one, I need to figure out how much is DBC. So plug in 3.5 for 22 times 3.5 minus 3. So you get 22 times 3.5 is 77 minus 3 is 74 degrees. So the measure of the big small angle, this one is 74, and the measure of the first small angle is 48. So they add up to 122. So the answer is correct. So I hope you can try the next question by yourself. So please try that question. The question says that ARS, the big angle is 180. Okay, the straight line. So please pause the video and try to do that, then you come back. Welcome back. I hope you have done this one. So PRQ, the first PRQ, this angle PRQ is 6x plus 13, and second angle QRS, that angle is 3x minus 4. So I know that if I add both angles, so PRQ 6x plus 13 plus the second small angle, that is 3x minus 4, they add up to the big angle 180. So combine the like terms, so 6x and 3x are the like terms, so you get a 9x, and 13 minus 4, they are the constant, they can combine in those two, so 13 minus 4 is positive 9 is equal to 180. To solve for x, you subtract the 9 from both sides, so you will get 9x is equal to 171. So to solve for x, divide with the 9. So 171 divided by 9 is 19. So x is equal to 19. So now you got x is equal to 19. Now I need to figure out the measure of each small angle. So plug in 19 for x. So here you get 6 times PRQ. Angle PRQ is 6 times 19 plus 13, and do the work. And the second one is 3 times 19 minus 4. So those are the measures of both those two angles. So the next question is, suppose XB, that a bisector of angle AXC. Bisector means cut into two equal pieces. That means this angle and this angles are congruent. So solve for x and find the measure of each angle. So question say, the first question number 13, that question say that AXB, this angle is 23. So how much should be the second angle? This is a bisector, so those two angles are equal, that is this angle is 23, and the big angle AXC will be 46. Okay, that's where we can find out. So measure of angle AXB is 23, BXC is 23 again, the whole angle AXC is 46 degree. Here the second question. So they say that angle AXB, so angle AXB is 5x, and angle B, it should be BXC. So there is a mistake in the typing, so BXC. So BXC is equal to 8x minus 24. So the question says that BX is an angle bisector of AXC. That means these two angles are congruent, so they are equal to each other. So I can write angle AXB is equal to angle BXC. So I could write 5x is equal to 8x minus 24. I have to solve for x, so subtract 8x from both sides. So 8x minus 8x becomes 0, and minus 24 here is equal to negative 3x. So we can negative 3x is equal to negative 24. To solve for x, divide by negative 3. So you get x is equal to 8. So I need to figure out how much should be the each angle. So plug in 8 for x, so 5 times 8, that becomes 40. And again, since both of them, this is a bisector, so those two angles are congruent, the measure of this angle is also 40 degrees. So measure of each angle is 40 degree each, and the measure of the big angle AXC should be 80 degree. So I hope you understand the first part of this one. So let's move on to the next part.